Clear Lake and try to get some footage of the lava flows and some of the backstory that kind of showcases a little more about what created Clear Lake. One of my most favorite places that I've ever been to in my life. It's just a magical place. I don't know that I've ever met anybody that has been there and wasn't changed after seeing this place. It's just incredible. So, but I've done a lot of video that showcases the water itself, the lake, some of the 3,000-year-old ancient forest that's underwater. The remnants of it are underwater from when Sand Mountain blew up, and created the lava flow that ultimately pinched off the river and created Clear Lake. And at that time, 3,000 years ago, submerged the forest that was there, and much of it can still be seen today in the cold waters that are there. So I plan on getting a little bit of footage showing, hopefully, some of the lava flows that head towards Clear Lake, and kind of see what I can see. So let's give it a bash. Hope for the best. You never know, maybe I'll find something cool. See you there. So I'm getting close to Mill City, and last year's fire of 2020 is pretty apparent. Never mind the crack in the windshield, but I am driving, so I kind of got it stuck on here. There's a lot of burned out vehicles. There is some good, some good woods left. I mean, it's not all burned down, but you can see some of the damage is pretty extensive. And yet other things, some things just don't look touched at all. It's really strange, but that fire was very strange. How it just kind of, it hit so much, it took so much, and right next to it, nothing. So, I don't know. I wanted to see some of this, but at the same time, I just didn't. Love this area so much. It's just a crying shame. Crying shame. So I'm in Otis now, and you can see sporadic stuff that's just missing. Burned. Sides of trees burned. Some homes are just where they were. Some are damaged. It's just so weird how it was so hit and miss. One thing I'm definitely noticing though is how much is here, in the sense that obviously fire crews did more than an amazing job, because I mean, I see houses like that one right there I'm going by, and this one, this yellow one here, and there's stuff burned all around them. This whole hillside to the left, you can't probably see it in the camera view, but the whole mountainside to my left is completely burned out. I mean, it's just gone. But there's homes here, and somehow they were saved. It's just strange. I'll go out the front window and you can see this whole mountainside here up front. That whole mountain has been burned off. It's just bare now. You can see burned stumps from where I'm at. Burned stumps over here. As it looks like they've cut a lot of the burned trees. Here's a bunch of burned trees right up in here. All the sides are burned off. So there was a lot of fire. And over here's a bunch of logs that have been saved. That's good. I mean, it's already bad, so why waste it? I mean, it's a terrible thing, but yeah. Man, we haven't even got to the worst of it. It's so quiet here. I've gotten so used to ambient noise in my normal life that here you can almost hear the stars move. No crickets, wind, rustle of trees, or anything. It's quite surprising how loud breathing is, even when you try to be quiet. However, a funny thing happened. Twice. 2:35 in the morning, someone's truck alarm went off. And then I heard a single thunder in the distance. It seems that 22% chance of rain will become reality. Pretty sure several drops of rain have hit by now, so keeping my fingers crossed I can still capture the footage of something today. This is the most peaceful place to sleep. Yet the excitement keeps me awake. And yep, another thunderclap. It's 2:42 a.m. Okay, well, I made it to Clear Lake. Hiking out here on the lava fields, and it's pretty impressive. Got the DJI Mavic Mini out here. It's performing fantastic. The views here are amazing. A little overcast today, so I wasn't able to get the breathtaking sunrise I'd kind of hoped to get, but there's always another day. So yeah, if you can kind of see out and around here, the terrain here is pretty rough. So, but it's worth it. I mean, yeah, okay, it's a little sketchy, admittedly. It's a little sketchy. But, you know, you hike up here. It's not too far. I mean, it goes on for miles out there. You'll see in a video off into the woods that direction. The wide open lava fields are not at this point. You can see where the lava had, you know, come right down here and all along this side of the lake, actually. And, you know, and you can see it just goes right down to the lake right there. So it is crazy up here, I'm telling you. It is crazy. Down on the, close to the water's edge down there, there is kind of a footpath down there. But if you want to get, you know, up in here, then you just kind of gotta, yeah, you just gotta kind of go for it. And I really wanted to get up here. This is what I wanted to see, some of it. I'm hoping to pack the gear back up and see what else I can find. The morning here is incredible, as expected, always on Clear Lake. An occasional fish jump and an osprey. There's an osprey right over there. I probably won't be able to see it on the camera, but I see an osprey heading to the left. And there's a duck out in the middle, just kind of hanging out by himself. But I did see an osprey catch a fish. Man, that was a noise, because it's just so quiet here. Last night, you know, bagging out in the car, it was so quiet. It's hard to even describe. Not a sound, not a rustle. I don't know. I mean, maybe I've lived in town or something. Oh, he's going for a fish. Oh, he didn't do it. I don't know. It was just so ridiculously quiet last night. I mean, even breathing was loud, even if you're trying to be quiet. I don't know. So anyway, I made it. I'm going to try to continue to get some more footage, and hopefully that osprey catches him. Oh, there's 2 ospreys out there now. They're hunting. Good luck, guys. Oh, is he going? Come on, do it. Man, I'll tell you. Oh, a 3rd osprey. What in the world? Oh. Okay, well, anyway. It's a beautiful place. It's an absolutely beautiful place. Anybody who has talked to me about this place, or that I've managed to talk their ear off about it, probably has a vague idea how much I really love this place. It's just nothing short of magical. So if you've never been here, you just got to see it to believe it. You know, you just got to see it to believe it. There's just something about this place. You know, you can watch the videos that I do about this place. You know, this is the first one that I've done that's kind of on the ground. Most of my videos are, you know, out on the kayak with all the camera gear and stuff like that. You know, the underwater video of the 3,000-year-old forest. And what you see is the sights, the beautiful sights. But what you really truly lack is the sounds, the smells, the temperature. you know, you can feel waves of, like right now, waves of very, very softly coolness come over the lava flows, and then a warmness. And I don't know, it's all the things that you miss in person I can't capture on video. So all I can do is just give you a very lame example of what this place has to offer. So if you do come here, as I usually say in my item descriptions, or video descriptions, sorry, on a kayak, if you go out around the ancient forest side to the left of there, I mean, there's some of it out and around, don't get me wrong, out and around. I'll turn it around here. The far side, down over this way, there are some ancient trees down over that way, and they're sporadically on this side, but not too many. But there are a few down at this end over here, and one in particular, be very mindful of. But down at the other end, down there, which you can't see through the trees right now, by the lodge, if you go off where the lodge is, and you take a left and go around the bend and go all the way to the back, that's where the preponderance of the ancient forest is highly visible. And as I've said in many of my videos in the description, be mindful, be careful, go slow. This water is very cold. And some of these trees that are coming at you, not only be respectful that they're 3,000 years old, but that's kind of a no-brainer, but be aware that some of these look like they're inches below the surface, and they may be 20 feet below the surface. And next thing you know it, one of them that looks like it's an inch below the surface is. Because the water here is so ridiculously clear that your depth perception is severely hindered. So I guess my point is, go slow, pay attention, don't lose focus. And because you can hit one of these trees under the water that are sticking straight up just like a normal tree. And you really don't want to flip your kayak over out here. The water's really cold, so it's nothing to be afraid of. Just pay attention and enjoy the beauty. And when you're doing that, you're going to be going slow anyway, because you really got to take this place in. So I'm going to see what else I can find, see what kind of trouble I can get into, and be safe. See you soon. So here's a little look at some of the path down by the lake, which is right here. And this takes you through the edge of the lava flows that come down to create Clear Lake, and some of the sights to see. And so yeah, this is kind of the path. Be a goat in some parts. That's kind of cool looking. That's neat. What a wonderful place. Anyway, I digress. Hi-ho. Oh yeah, and another thing I've noticed since I've been here is some of these little holes like this. It goes way down in there. A lot of birds seem to be living in these. It's kind of cool. Never mind the grunting and growling. I'm getting old. I'm sure glad I got to see this place before I kicked the can. Like I said, it's a little overcast this morning. Rained last night. But the ground here just soaked it right up pretty quick. It's really not a lot wet. I mean, there's biggest thing I've noticed is the humidity is pretty high right now. But it's all good. Into the forest we go. If I don't trip and make a fool of myself. Not that anybody's here to see it, but you know, whatever. Hard to believe no one else is out here right now. It's already late. It's like 7:15. Old man late, I guess. I think I'm supposed to be at Old Country Buffet or something by now. Not sure. This beats that. Huh. Beautiful. That's a lodge back over there. Oh. This looks more forest here. Although there are signs of lava. Yeah. And it kind of has an undercurrent everywhere here. Yeah, it's here. Anyway, I'm just going to keep on plugging and see what I find. Talk to you soon. Alright, coming up on another part over here by the pretty good sized walls over here of lava flows. And this particular one is one of the flows that came out. I've kayaked over in this area, and this particular one is one of the ones that, when viewed underwater, right here, goes off into the water, and right past that log right there, it drops off a serious precipice. Just like, wow. I'd say probably goes down to 90, 100 feet just instantly. Like if someone just tipped that log off or something, it'd just fall off the edge. That's pretty interesting. How this lava just did that. And I really doubt, because of the reflection, you can be able to see this is a fairly shallow area over here. But it's a beautiful spot to kayak in as well. I mean, well, everything here is. So, yeah, neat area. Just watch your step. Yeah, this whole thing, if you look out right over here, there's a flow right there. And that flow goes out over in here and creates an island about over here. And there's another small one right in here. But the one that's over there, let me get my finger line to the camera. So that one goes out, drops down, and then comes up and back up over here. And then right over here, where that little fish just jumped, is a big dome. And that dome is almost like a mini mountain, and fish circle all around that. It's pretty neat when you get that underwater. And it's a really cool spot to fish at for sure. But video is pretty cool. And finally getting some people out here now, enjoying the sights and scenes, and what a place. Anyway, on we go. I set out on this trip to go capture some video footage and photographs of the lava flows that surround Clear Lake. I left home at 5:45 p.m. and I made it to Clear Lake at 7:52. It's a pretty good time. Took the scenic route through Silverton. It's a nice drive. Enjoyed the trip. But as I got close to Mill City, the damage of the fires from 2020 were all too clear. While life is coming back, some homes are being rebuilt, there's still much sadness and destruction. It's odd as you travel this road, you see areas that have not been touched and others are completely decimated. Yet all the while, something is just not right. After a bit more travel, it finally hit me. The calming shade of much of the forest is missing. Sunlight is beaming through the entire hillsides, and slopes in some areas are completely bare, as are entire mountainsides. It's breathtaking in one hand and rips at your soul at the other. It's a very confusing thing to witness. The first time I came to this wonderful place, I was just wanting to get here. The excitement was pushing me, and I wanted so badly to see this 3,000-year-old submerged forest that supposedly existed. I was not prepared in any way for what I would see, but more importantly feel. After only a short time in these waters, I could feel the history in a very visceral way. It's nearly impossible to explain to anyone who has not experienced it firsthand. I've tried my absolute best in my videos to capture the soul of this magical place, yet it still eludes me. The only comparable explanation I have is one of horrors. That being, one can watch historical movies and documentaries and actual footage of combat and war. But what you don't get is the smells, the burning of the eyes, the touch of the air, those details that bring it to life. This magical place is the polar opposite of those days gone by for me. Yet in the same way, in my attempts to capture this place, it's those very details that are missing. The soft sound of a drop of water falling from my paddle, or the ever so slightly softened sound of a duck's wing early in the morning by the fog on the water. This place must be seen in person, yet with great care. Each footfall here feels to me like a touch on God's garden, and how blessed I am to be able to be here when I can. The only sadness here is when I must leave, and for those who have failed themselves to take just a moment to see what's actually here. These submerged trees were here silently breathing when Jesus was born and walked on the earth. Now they slumber in these cold waters just barely below the surface, yet they are still here. May God protect this place, and may mankind respect it. It was spared in the 2020 fires, thank God, but had it not been spared, these 3,000-year-old trees would still be standing and protected by these cold waters.